Once upon a time, in a remote village nestled in the lush hills of eastern Africa, there lived a young woman named Kinna. Kinna was known far and wide for her radiant beauty and her kind heart. She had a way of bringing joy to everyone she met, with her smile as bright as the sun. Kinna's father was a simple farmer who toiled day and night to provide for his family, while her mother traded goods at the village market, always ensuring that their humble home was filled with love and laughter. Kinna's family did not have much, but they were content, and their love for each other kept their spirits high. Kinna had a few close friends, and together they would walk to the village school every day. Kinna was very bright and dedicated to her studies, always eager to learn more. Her teachers often praised her, saying, "Kinna, you will do great things one day." Her parents, proud of their daughter, dreamed of a bright future for her. As Kinna grew older, she formed a close bond with a girl named Zuri. Unlike Kinna, Zuri was not as studious and had a tendency to get into trouble. Despite the warnings from others, Kinna cherished their friendship and chose to overlook Zuri's flaws. One day, Kinna went to school with an empty stomach, her family having run out of food. Zuri, noticing her friend's hunger, offered her food, saying, "I brought this for you, Kinna. You're my special friend." Grateful for the kindness, Kinna ate the meal, and their friendship deepened. However, Zuri's influence on Kinna grew stronger, leading her down a path of temptation and moral compromise. One day, Kinna noticed that Zuri always seemed to have new clothes and expensive trinkets, things Kinna could never afford. Curious, she asked, "Zuri, where do you get all these nice things?" Zuri smiled slyly and replied, "A man named Django gives them to me in exchange for favors. It's easy, and I get whatever I want." Kinna was shocked but also intrigued by Zuri's words. She had never considered such a thing, but Zuri made it sound so simple, so harmless. Over time, Kinna began to be swayed by her friend's words, and though she felt uneasy, she kept her concerns to herself. One day, Kinna met a young man named Bahati, a handsome and kind-hearted palm wine tapper who was well-respected in the village. Bahati took a liking to Kinna, and soon they began to spend more and more time together. Kinna enjoyed Bahati's company, and before long, their relationship grew deeper. But one day, Kinna discovered she was pregnant. Fearing the consequences, she confided in Bahati, hoping he would stand by her. Instead, Bahati denied responsibility and distanced himself from her, leaving Kinna feeling abandoned and alone. With nowhere else to turn, Kinna's parents sent her to a distant village called Nyaga to learn a trade, unaware of her situation. In Nyaga, Kinna stayed with a distant aunt who welcomed her warmly, but Kinna couldn't shake the anxiety growing within her. Desperate and scared, she sought out Nuru, a wise midwife known for helping women in difficult situations. Kinna poured out her heart to Nuru, who listened with a compassionate but firm expression. "Kinna, it's too late to end the pregnancy safely. But if you truly don't want the baby, there are those who will pay handsomely for a healthy child." At first, Kinna was horrified by the idea. But as time passed, desperation clouded her judgment. She saw the prospect of selling the baby as a way out of her predicament, a means to secure her future. When the time came, Kinna gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. She looked at the newborn in her arms but felt nothing, only thinking of the wealth she would gain. After nursing the baby, Kinna handed her over to Nuru, who arranged the sale. In return, Kinna received a bag of gold coins and shimmering jewelry. With the money in hand, Kinna convinced herself that she had found a new way to secure her future. She became obsessed with the idea of selling more babies, believing it was her ticket to wealth and success. And so, Kinna fell into a dark cycle. She continued to get pregnant, selling each child for more money. With every sale, her wealth grew, but so did the whispers of those who knew her dark secret. Kinna's once bright spirit became consumed by greed. She built a grand house in Nyaga, dressed in the finest clothes, and adorned herself with jewels. But as her wealth grew, so did Nuru's concern. One day, the midwife confronted her, saying, "Kinna, you must stop this. These children are your future, your legacy. You cannot keep selling them. But Kinna ignored the warnings, believing that her path was set. She sent gifts and money to her parents, who marveled at their daughter's success, but never questioned its source. However, as the years passed, Kinna began to feel an emptiness that wealth could not fill. She realized too late that she had traded away her chance at true happiness. Eventually, Kinna returned to her home village, her wealth and beauty astonishing the villagers who once knew her. But her joy was short-lived. The men she had once deceived began to confront her, demanding to know what had become of their children. As the truth emerged, the villagers turned against Kinna, and the life she had built began to crumble. In the end, Kinna's story became a cautionary tale. She lost everything: her wealth, her home, and her family. Alone and shunned, she wandered the land, haunted by the children she had sold and the life she had forsaken. Her tale was passed down through generations, a warning to all who heard it about the dangers of greed and the price of losing sight of what truly matters. Moral of the story: greed and the pursuit of wealth at the cost of family and integrity lead to a life of emptiness and regret. True wealth lies in the love and connections we share, not in material riches.